they take everyone's phones at the door and they put them in those, you're not allowed to use this phone bags. A lot of people are trying stuff out and you never want people to see you fumbling through. Because it starts out very offensive and then by the end it's okay.
Before we get to our clip, do us a favor and click subscribe and that bell button below. 2/3 of people who watch us regularly aren't yet subscribed, and it really supports the channel when you do subscribe. It's free, costs nothing, and I really appreciate it. So I want to hear about your trip to Austin and to Joe Rogan's club.
It's the best club I've ever performed at.
So first of all, when did he start this and what is it like? Is
Post-COVID.
Okay.
He used to be a punk music venue in downtown Austin. And he, after COVID, he moved to Austin. I didn't get to meet him. He was on holidays with his family. But I got to meet everyone who is in the Joe Rogan orbit, I guess, which was cool. And he said, he's got so much money from, I guess, a life of doing comedy, that Spotify deal. He just went like, well, what if I build the perfect comedy club that's exactly what I want it to be? And he did. I mean, it's things that everybody should do, that would be affordable for everyone to put in their clubs. In the green room, there are 2 screens where you can see what's happening on stage, and that when they get the light, you get the light in the green room, so no one is taken by surprise when someone finishes their set. It's like every small detail.
Help me understand, because I've never been to a comedy club, especially not to perform. So what does this comedy club have other than that most comedy clubs don't?
Oh, man, they take everyone's phones at the door and they put them in those, you're not allowed to use this phone bags. They have great security. They have, oh man, the stage is, I mean, most comedy clubs, the stage is at the wrong level. You go in and the stage is like
too low, too high,
often too high, and you can't talk down to people like that doing comedy. It feels weird.
Yeah,
it's acoustically perfect. The roof is at the right. Sometimes it's a cavernous thing. The way they're sitting, you want people around you so that their laughter hits you immediately. It's louder. You sort of want it to be like a bus on its side. And the further back they are, the less they can contribute. And like everyone's just there, next to you. It's
that's awesome.
Oh, it's magical. I was terrified of doing badly. Like this is the perfect circumstances for comedy. If I'm bad now, I do have to quit.
Yeah, I want to get to how you did, but I love the idea of phones in the bags. Who started that? And do you know? Was that Jerry Seinfeld?
Might have been Seinfeld. Might have been.
It's such a beautiful idea.
Dave Chappelle was doing it,
because
I think, early on.
They must do it for copyright reasons, but it also just helps people be with each other.
Well, they don't want to. I think a lot of people are trying stuff out, and you never want people to see you fumbling through. Because it starts out very offensive, and then by the end it's okay.
What do you mean?
Well, just any bit. You have an idea for a bit.
Oh, I see.
Maybe the bit is shaking a baby and accidentally not having that baby anymore afterwards, and you say that wrong 15 times. You know there's something in it that's funny to communicate, but all someone has to do is have their phone out and record that bit, and then you're the
Well, that
monster.
must give you a lot of freedom, eh?
Yeah.
Like, as a performer, were you okay, this is
not
nice.
me at that show, because I was also like, wonderful people are watching me. And this is my first gig in America. I was also terrified that the references wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And then someone said, just treat them like an Australian audience and it'll be fine. And it was. It was fine.
So lead us. How did you apply? I don't know how it works. Is it just an open mic or? One
was an open mic. That was how I got to audition there. In front of, it's run by Adam Egert, who was the sidekick of Norm Macdonald. Yeah, and the whole time there I'm going, you knew Norm Macdonald. Wow. You deny the Holocaust. He doesn't really. That's just a joke that Norm used to say. But he made it. I mean, 6 million. It's too many other way. So that's a joke. Again, that's a Norm joke.
There's going to be a lot of jokes in this episode. If you don't have a sense of humor, you should go watch another video.
There's a lot out there for people on the algorithm. Oh, man, it was so nice. And then I got put on because my friend Shane was doing the whole week, and I turned up in Austin. I was ahead of my family.
So the stand-up night where they select you to...
Man.
Is it a different night of the week? Is
that how I think that was on Mondays. They have sign up and people drive in from hours around to put their name in the bucket and get on.
So how many were on the same night as you when you were trying out?
There were like 12 people on before me, and then the bar started. So people also work at the bar.
How quick is your set?
Everyone was doing 3 minutes.
How bad was everyone who came with you?
2 guys were great.
Yeah?
10 guys were... just normal open mic people. What was weird, so the first gig I went to was Kill Tony, which was,
What's that?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe does this, it's like pro wrestling meets stand-up comedy. So people put their names in and they do 1 minute of comedy and then a panel of really good comedians 10 strips off him. It's impossible to be good at a minute. Do you know, like you can't, hello folks, how you going? And then they ring the bell.
Yeah.
So I went to, and that was 8,000 people in the HEB arena, which I thought was pronounced the Hebe arena, and people let me know that was incorrect. And I hadn't slept in like 35 hours, and I got to Austin and someone said, do you want to get on the bus? And I said, sure, we're in America.
What does that mean, get on the bus?
Oh, it was Shane Gillis was the Shane.
Oh,
Shane Gillis
you
was
know
doing,
Shane Gillis?
Yes, so I was staying at his place, but I feel, I mean, I opened for him in Australia.
Okay.
He's a lovely man, and he's also now the most successful comedian in the world, so I feel like
what happened?
dropping. He was cancelled.
By
Saturday Night Live literally ended his contract. He was meant to start as a cast member, and they looked through his old podcast and they said, you can't be doing some of these things and be on Saturday Night Live.
It just kept steamrolling. Like it didn't dissipate at all. Like it kept being like, no, you guys need to fire him.
And he just kept doing stand up and is separately to being a great sketch actor, the best stand up comedian working.
I would say maybe 2 months ago he started exploding across my algorithm, and I didn't know who he was or where he came from. Yeah. He does the best Trump impersonation I've ever heard.
He does he says, the trick. He said, do the hands a second after they're meant to move. The hands are not quite connected to the voice.
It's not hard to do Trump. It's all you have to do just do that. Do that a second off from where it should be in the sentence.
He's really good at it. He's also got the new Trump, the old Trump.
So he got you to do a stand-up, a kind of test
I opened for him
stand-up.
with some of his friends, so he had a bunch of his friends.
Oh, I see. So you performed at the actual people expecting to be, big room.
Yeah. Well, no, and they are. I mean, they're waiting to see him, and then he's got 7 people beforehand. And they're very gracious.
Are they?
The audience, yeah. I had such a nice time.
Right,
I also have to reset, not every American crowd is going to be like the dream at Joe Rogan's Comedy Club there to see Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get some bad crowds at some point. But if all of America can stay like that.
Having an Aussie accent is going to help you.
I think it buys you a minute.
It does.
Two.
That's what I say. I say the same thing when I give talks at high schools. I'm like, it buys me a minute and then
they'll listen to what I'm actually saying.
Hopefully. If the minute was okay.